Hello guys, and today I'm doing another league table video, but this time we're doing Euro 2016. Now, and we're gonna start off with the qualifications. We're gonna get right into this. There's gonna be separate videos: qualification, group stages, knockout stages, and knockout stages will be round of 16, and the quarterfinals, and then semi-finals and finals will be the last video. But let's get into qualification. So this is Group A. Group A is notable for a couple things: Iceland shockingly qualifying, and Netherlands shockingly failing. Netherlands lost 3-0 to Turkey and 1-0 to Iceland, and that's how they overtook them. And Netherlands, they're still standing third in the World Cup, but they failed to qualify for the Euros. They were on a free fall. Latvia and Kazakhstan were without doubt the worst teams. So it was just a fight between the four: Czech Republic, Iceland, Turkey, and Netherlands. So now let's get into Group B, where Wales qualified for the first tournament in years. And there's nothing really notable. Cyprus failed to qualify, and Israel do as well. And something notable is Andorra's horrible performance. A goal difference of -32 and no points whatsoever. They lost all 10 games, of course, and they only scored 4, so they were really bad. Wales, they could have overtook Belgium and completely secured it, but they did well. Borussia and Herzogenaia, they did well as well. They were good as well. They were 4 points away from failing to qualify, so they were good. Next up we have Group C. This is a group I was watching a lot. Luxembourg, Macedonia, and the obvious team qualified. Belarus failed to qualify. They was 8 points away from Ukraine, who went on to crash out on the group stage. Spain won it qualified by a good country mile. And yeah, they completely destroyed Macedonia. I think it was 8-0. Now this, I think, was the most tight. I mean, the competitive group, apart from Gibraltar, who had a goal difference of -54 and no points. Georgia, Scotland, and Republic of Ireland, all three of them, they're kind of the same team now. Georgia will be very disappointed because they were 6 points away from Scotland, who failed to qualify. Republic of Ireland went on to make the round of 16 in the Euros, so it wasn't too shocking. Germany and Poland, they were in this. Germany finished 1 point higher, and they went on to be in the same group stage. So it was very close, and I thought the gap would be closing in. But Republic of Ireland did well, and they were 3 points ahead of Scotland. So yeah, they did well. Now England, I think their qualification was the best. 30 points. In 30 points, they won all 10 games. They were unstoppable in the qualifications. They beat Estonia, Slovenia, Switzerland, and San Marino. They beat them all. And Estonia, they didn't have the hardest group stage, but seriously, France barely beat Switzerland, and they just tore them all up. They scored 31 goals and only conceded 3 goals in 10 games. That is such an insane defensive record. And it's not the best goal scoring record, but the defensive record was madness. Now this was very disappointing for Greece not to qualify. But were they close to qualifying? That's some people's question. Not at all. They were 10 points away from the qualification spot that Hungary had took, and went on to make the round of 16, only to get destroyed by Belgium. Greece was very disappointed because they were lower than Faroe Islands by goal difference. Finland, they will be definitely upset not to qualify because this was another very tight group stage. Even anybody except for Faroe Islands could have easily qualified. Now, it was very tight between Northern Ireland and Romania, but they both ended up qualifying. And Finland couldn't get close to Hungary, so it wasn't as tight as I thought it would be. Now, Sweden, Russia, and Austria did well to qualify, but this was another tight group stage because, you know why? There were the 3 expected teams to qualify. We just want to see who finished up on top to see how they would perform in the Euros, but that showed us nothing. You would know why. All 3 of these teams crashed out on the group stage. Now, Italy, Croatia, and Norway went through on this group stage, and it's pretty. Bulgaria could have went. I thought it would be tight with them in Norway, but Norway was 8 points higher, so they did well. And Portugal's qualification campaign was very, very, very good, and they qualified. And it was 7 points over Albania, and 9 points over Denmark. And there's only one. And if they somehow failed to qualify, they couldn't have failed to qualify. I mean, they had a smaller than normal group, so they did good to go over Albania and Denmark. Next up, we have the group stages. And the Group A was France, Switzerland, Albania, and Romania. All 4 of those teams did well to qualify, but it was pretty clear that France would go through that. So let's see the games. France won almost everything, but they ended up drawing Switzerland. Albania, they were okay, but they couldn't go through to the next round. Oh, I don't get it. They could? Okay. They didn't go through to the next round. Switzerland did really good that campaign. They got 5 points, which was enough to move on to the next round. So, yeah. France, the host France, easily went through to the next round, and Romania crashed out in the group stage. Now, England, Slovenia, and Wales went through. And what you can note here, is England are 5 points and Wales finished higher than England, even though England beat them Wales 2-1. England drew Slovakia and Russia, and that was Russia's only point. They had a goal difference of -4, and they crashed out. So England, Wales, Slovenia, Switzerland, and France all made the round of 16. Northern Ireland, Poland, and Germany made it through to the next round, and Ukraine won nothing and crashed out. Now this was kind of shocking because you would expect them to do okay because it would be tight with Northern Ireland. You would think for them to go through, but if we check the score when they played, if you check, Northern Ireland won 2-0. So that was pretty disappointing. Next we had Croatia and Spain. Everybody thought Spain would be the group champions, but it didn't matter for them. They went through the next round of the competition. Turkey and Czech Republic crashed out. So Croatia did really shockingly good, but both Croatia and Spain, later on in the tournament, you'll see what happened to them. Italy, Belgium. This was the tightest group because A lot of people thought Italy would beat Belgium. Not Belgium would beat Italy to have a team to do it, but I already know Italy beat them. Italy shockingly lost to Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland went through to the next round, but Italy still made it through. But Belgium beat Northern Ireland 3-0, so it was kind of screwed up group, but Sweden notably crashed out, and Zlatan retired from international football. So next up we have Hungary, Iceland, Portugal, and Austria. This, without doubt, is the most difficult to predict. And Portugal drew all of their games, and Hungary were group champions by goal difference. I mean, this was super hard to predict because they were all so tight. I mean, you would have thought that Portugal would have been group champions, or Austria, who were group champions of their qualifying stage. But I guess you can say it was an underdog story, but it was still a very tight group. So now let's see the round of 16. First of all, we have Poland beating Switzerland in penalties. Now, I didn't know what to expect for that game, but Poland were victorious in penalties. Wales played Northern Ireland and won 1-0, and they continued their underdog story to go through to the quarterfinals. Now Portugal, they drew all of the games, and Croatia were group champions with over a big team like Spain. They didn't really look like standing a chance, but heroics from Nani meant they went through. France knocked out Northern Ireland, even though they were 1-0 down on the first half. Antoine Griezmann saved the day, and France won the quarterfinals. Germany destroyed Slovakia 3-0, and that ended their time in France. Belgium beat Hungary 4-0 as well, so Hungary being group champion. That was kind of and Spain. When I said Spain and Croatia had something, it's because they both couldn't make it past round 16. Italy beat them 2-0, so they just beat Belgium and Spain, both 2-0, and it looks like they can continue their campaign really far. And Iceland, of course, they shocked England in a 2-1 victory. Now the quarterfinals, Portugal just kept drawing, but it had to go on, and they won in penalties, so they made the semi-finals, even though they failed to win in the group stage. Wales beat Belgium 3-1 in a shocking game, and it looked like Italy could continue becoming big game players and beat Germany, but they lost 6-5 in the worst and one of the craziest penalty shootouts ever. Schweinsteiger, he doesn't even know how to play football when he's playing for Germany. And Simon Zaz's penalty, of course, was the worst in history, arguably. And France destroyed Iceland 5-2, and that ended their underdog story. Now, Portugal versus Wales, two teams that shockingly made it. Portugal made the finals. They knew they were very lucky and they wouldn't stand a chance, and the winner of France and Germany would just decided who won the title, and France won 2-0. And on the final, of course, Eder went from the slow guy to Portugal's hero and scored a winning goal in extra time. And Portugal ended up somehow winning it. Well, Portugal, they're one of the biggest underdogs. They had the likes of André Gomes, Bernardo Silva, Renato Sanchez, some good young talent. They had the best player in the world at the moment, Cristiano Ronaldo. So they weren't the biggest underdogs, but that was kind of shocking. They failed to win in the group stage, and they went on to win the entire thing. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Comment down below which table video what you want to